Hi guys, it's Herman from Skrillex and it's story time. So, my first story I'm going to tell you about was when I had an accident when I was 21 years old. Accident was caused by myself and because I was playing with the car. Don't play with your car. You will get hurt. Okay, so this is what happened. It was over a weekend. I remember that I had a friend that I was supposed to not supposed to, we did go. We were going to a gospel show in Pretoria that was about 125 kilos from where my mother was staying and about 190 kilometers from where my father was staying, where I was staying at the moment. So the show was on a Saturday. I went to my mother on the Friday afternoon and they filled up my car, but we didn't go with my car. We went with a friend of mine who had an accident also the Wednesday before the show. So he borrowed a bakkie for us to go with, and we did go to the show. It was pretty awesome. Um, on our way back, I decided not to sleep over with my mother at my mother's because I wanted to get home. So when we got home, it was about 11 p.m. I got in my car and I drove home. Everything went well. I got safely at home. Everything was fine. Um, the Sunday morning when I woke up, I told my father I wanted to go to town because we were staying on a farm and because I felt like I have craving for something nice. So I went and my dad gave me a list of the things he wanted me to buy him. Um, and I went. My smaller brother also that stage we were very young. He was like 6 years old, 7 years old. Wanted to drive with me, and I told him no, he can't drive with me. And I'm happy I told him no. But my younger brother, that was a few years younger than me, he was at that stage about 13, 14, 14 years old. He drove with me, and we went to town, and everything went well. We got the list for my father. I got me something nice. I can't even remember what I got myself. Um, so this is where it got very confusing. On my way there, to town, and on my way back, I was listening to the CD that I bought from this gospel show, and it was a nice CD. It was from Retief Burger. So on my way back, there was a steep hill. So I told my brother we must go down slowly. It made a sharp curve at the bottom, and then it was further downhill. Okay, at that, sorry for that itchy nose. On my way back, when after I told him that, when I got the bend, I started exploring the car for no reason. I wanted to drive faster. I was already doing 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, and the car speed picked up at about 100 kilometers an hour. It was on a gravel road, so that's not a nice speed to drive on a gravel road in the first place. So I remember the car went airborne on a bump, and when it hit the ground, it started swerving, and everything I did to counter steer didn't work. Eventually, I saw that the car was going for a ditch, so I pulled up the handbrake, turned the steering wheel, and hit the brakes at the same time, trying to make the car go in with the tail. It didn't work. The car went in nose first. It felt like a lifetime. It was over within a few seconds. Um, my 6x9 speakers at the back of the car broke out and hit me against the head. I have a bump on my head. It's difficult to show you. My eyes closing it, but there's literally a bump in my head where the speaker hit me against the head. I was out. My brother slapped me to get me awake because I was out. It's not a nice memory. He broke his nose. But the funny thing is, though the speakers were broke out at the back, the CD was still playing. It never stopped playing. We had to switch it off, but it was still actually playing. I've turned my engine with the impact on about 190 degrees angle from straight to sideways. The whole driver's side of the car was smashed in. I will upload some photos someday. I just have to find them of how the car looked afterwards. Yes, there was a lot of blood. The first thing I did when we got out of the car is I phoned my father and told him he must come, we were in an accident. And they were coming with speed as well. That's understanding. I'm his son. Both of his children were in the car. So when he got at the car, my mother grabbed me at the back of my throat. Yeah, but before that, after phoning my father, then I didn't feel any pain or anything. I didn't even notice that I was bleeding a lot. So the moment I took the phone from my ear, that is when I noticed that I'm wet. My phone is wet. When I looked at my phone, it was full of blood. When I took my hand and I did this over my face, it was all blood. Everything was blood. It's not a nice picture. So my dad, and anyway, my mother threw me in my dad's car, and she screamed at my father to drive. He took me to hospital. I was awake, but he kept on looking at me and just shaking his head, asking what happened. I told him I lost control of the car because I was playing with the car. I didn't need to go that fast in the first place, but I did. And after that, arriving at the hospital, there was an elderly doctor that helped me. He stitched up my head and everything. They didn't have the facilities available because it was a state hospital. My father phoned in the meanwhile. He phoned my mother and everything from Middelburg, and they drove down the side. When I got out, there was a lot of family members there the same day. So they gave me a neck support and everything. So yeah, it's bad to talk about it. The next day, I went back to Middelburg with my mother because my brother said no, he's not gonna take the state hospital's argument that I'm fine. He wants to take me to a private doctor and to make sure that I'm fine. He did take me to a private doctor the next Monday morning. They did x-rays and everything. I did hit my back, but everything was fine. I had to keep the neck support on for a long time, and I did, but it irritated me a lot, and I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't swallow or eat anything at that stage because my teeth went through my lip. Yeah, the mark, you can see the mark. The mark is still there. So I had to drink with a straw. Everything was with a straw for a few days. The neck support irritated me a hell of a lot, and I was in pain. There was nothing I could do about it. They gave me strong pain medication, but that only helped for a while. So I was in constant pain a lot of the time. I remember the Wednesday morning I told my mother I want to go home to the farm because the town was irritating me. I'm a farmer's boy. So I went to town. My father came to town and he picked me up and he took me home. And I remember telling my stepfather that he's like a real father to me, that he must be safe. And that Thursday morning, they woke me up. My stepmother woke me up at about 7 a.m. telling me that my stepfather were in an accident while working. Um, he's a truck driver. He's driving fuel, so it's dangerous good. He was on his way to make a load of petrol and gasoline when he had this accident. Um, there were two trucks in the accident. He drove into another truck that didn't make himself safe after the vehicle stalled, and he didn't see the vehicle at 4 a.m. until it was too late. They struggled that morning since from 4 a.m. just after 4 a.m. medical services arrived at the scene until about 7 a.m. to get him out of the vehicle. Thanks to all the people that did assist getting him out. He was in hospital for a while, much longer than me. I never were in hospital. I was at the hospital but never in it, so he was in the hospital for about a month and a half. He got hurt very badly, and he was lucky to be alive. The point of my story is, I'm not going to go into his story now, that's for another time, is that don't play with cars. You can get hurt, and the thing is that though you survive the accident, your body and you are not the same, and you will never be the same again. I'm still struggling with a hell of a lot of headaches because of the accident. My knees and my back and my neck is giving me problems still today, and it's a few years later, and it's only gonna get worse as I'm getting older. So my point is, if you're on the road and you're the driver and you have other people, especially when you have other people in the vehicle, drive safe. Drive to the speed limit. It's there for a reason. Most of the cars nowadays are with a lot of technology to keep you safe and to think for you when you can't, which is a good thing, to help you. Driver's assist, accident assist, collision assist, all of those things. I'm unfortunately not privileged to drive one of those vehicles, and so are a lot of other people not privileged. So my point is, if you buy a car for your child or your son or your daughter, don't give them a car that can drive 400 miles or 400 kilometers per hour. Give them a normal safe car to drive with. They don't need that power. My car was a normal standard car, but that I pulled it up a little bit and it almost cost me my life. Cars is not toys. Cars is there for you to go from point A to point B. Don't lose a family member or let family lose you because of playing with the vehicle or driving recklessly. Please leave your phone alone when you are driving. Don't read your text while you are driving. That text is still gonna be there when you stop. And if it's a life-threatening emergency that somebody needs to get hold of you, they will phone you, they won't text you. Don't text and drive. And if you are using a phone while driving, use hands-free and keep your eyes on the road. Accidents happens very fast. You always think that if it didn't happen to you that you have time to react. You don't. Your time is limited. From when you see the accident going to happen until the accident's happened, you are talking a few seconds and it's over. In that few seconds your life can be over. So drive safely. Thanks guys, from Skrillex.